Good morning, children. Like yesterday, we discussed about autotrophic mode of nutrition and the steps involved in photosynthesis. As I said, now we'll be discussing about how and where the photosynthesis occurs. So we all know that for photosynthesis to occur, what are the requirements? The requirements for photosynthesis are CO2, water, sunlight, that is trapped by chlorophyll, right? So now we'll discuss where and how photosynthesis occurs. So children, you know that photosynthesis occurs in leaf. This is a typical structure of a leaf, a typical leaf. Now what are the parts of leaf? As you have already studied in your previous classes, that this green portion which is there, this green portion of the leaf is called as leaf lamina or the leaf blade. Right. Now the central part of the leaf, the axis which is running in the center, is called as the midrib. Now here children, you should know that this midrib has connection of vascular bundles. What are these vascular bundles? Xylem and phloem. Why these vascular bundles are present? As you remember, you have studied in your class 9th also. Xylem is the vascular bundle or the tissue which is meant for conduction of water, and phloem is meant for conduction of food. So we all know that food is synthesized in the leaf. Therefore, there should be tissues present for carrying water which is required for synthesis of food, H2O, right? And as food is synthesized in the leaf, it has to be carried to various parts of the plant body. Therefore, phloem tissue, which is responsible for conduction of food, is also present here in the leaf. Now the parts which arise from the midrib, these parts are called as the veins. You all know that the color of leaf is green due to presence of chlorophyll. So where is this chlorophyll exactly located? To understand that, we need to take a section of leaf and study, which is called as TS of leaf. This is the diagram of TS of leaf. All these diagrams which we are discussing here, we have already discussed in the class, and the diagrams are also there in the NCERT book. We have also written the explanation and along with the diagram in the notebook. You can refer that explanation, those notes anytime, right? Now children, this is the structure of TS of leaf. This is the upper layer, this is the lower layer. Sorry, upper and lower. As we know that the outer layer of leaf or the plant body is known as epidermis. We will call it as upper epidermis, and this we will call it as lower epidermis. Right. Now in between the upper epidermis and lower epidermis, there are these rectangular shaped cells which are called as mesophyll cells. Now if you look carefully, inside these mesophyll cells, I have drawn some green color dots. These green color dots are the chloroplast. What is a chloroplast? Chloroplast, if you remember, is a type of a plastid, and it contains pigment chlorophyll, which is responsible for two things. One, for trapping sunlight, and number two, it is also responsible for giving green color to the leaf. Now you can see there are some spaces in between these. These are the air spaces. Why are these air spaces present? These air spaces are present for exchange of gases. Exchange of gases also occurs due to some structures which are abundantly found on the lower surface of the leaf. Also they are present on the upper surface, but maximum you will find on the lower surface. Here I will draw some structures which in dicot plant appears like kidney shape. This shape. What are these kidney shaped structures? These kidney shaped structures are called as guard cells. These guard cells form opening and closure of some region, this region where it forms an opening. This region is called as stoma or stomata. Now on the surface of leaf you will find ample of stomata. Why these stomata are present? These stomata are present for exchange of gases. Like plant requires carbon dioxide for photosynthesis, and during process of photosynthesis it forms oxygen which has to be liberated out of the plant body. This exchange of gases occurs through stomata. Here you need to also remember that in the plant body, it is not only the stomata where the exchange of gases take place. Other parts of the plant body such as stem, roots are also responsible for exchange of gases. Now, as I said, kidney-shaped stomata or the bean-shaped structure of guard cells is present in dicot stem. If you talk dicot plant, if you talk about monocot plant, the shape of the guard cells is little different. It is dumbbell shaped. Right, now we will not go in much detail about monocot plant. We will just study about the typical structure of stomata. This is how a stomata looks. Here you see I have drawn two diagrams. One is of open stoma and the other is of closed stoma. Now why this opening and closure of stomata take place and how it is regulated. So children, the opening and closure of stomata depends upon requirement of carbon dioxide. When the plant requires carbon dioxide, it opens the stomata. When it doesn't require carbon dioxide, it closes the stomata. Now how it happens? So you should know that the guard cells, these are the guard cells, these two, kidney shape, or you can call it as bean shape. These are the guard cells. Now these guard cells, when they absorb water and then they swell. So swelling of guard cells causes opening of this region which is called as stoma, where the exchange of gases take place. Similarly, when the guard cells, when they lose water, when there is excess of water present in the body, this stomata is also meant for removal of excess of water from the plant body through transpiration. So when there is excess of water present, so plant loses water through stomata. When it loses water through stomata, these guard cells shrink, and that leads to closure of stoma. So this is how the opening of stoma and closure of stoma is maintained. So this is the guard cell. These are the guard cells. This is open when they have swollen because of intake of excess of water. And here when it has lost water, it has shrunken, and this has led to closure of stomata. Right children? Now one thing, when you label the diagram, you should know that I've been telling you since long that always the pointer should be on the object, and that on where you are labeling you should not put an arrow over that side. Right? So again I'll say the opening and closure. So when does the stoma open? Opens when the guard cells swell. When guard cells swell, it leads to opening of stomata, and closure is due to shrinking of the guard cells. So this is how opening and closure of stomata takes place, and the requirements which are there for photosynthesis. This is how the plant body fulfills the requirement. See, carbon dioxide taken through stomata. Water, as we all know, water is taken by the plant body through roots. Sunlight is absorbed by chlorophyll, which are present in the mesophyll cells. Right? Do you think these are the only requirements by the plant body? So if you remember, we have already discussed, plant also requires other minerals. And from where these minerals are obtained? Some are obtained from soil, some are obtained from water also, like hydrogen. So water contains hydrogen also. And minerals such as nitrogen are obtained by the plant from the, you know that plant cannot obtain nitrogen directly from the atmosphere. Therefore, this nitrogen is fixed due to the process of nitrogen fixation. It is converted into nitrites and nitrates, and then it is available for the plant to absorb from the soil, such as nitrogen fixing bacteria, which help in fixing of nitrogen. That we have already studied in class 9th as well as in class 8th. So from all this we come to know that how plant carries out the process of photosynthesis, what are the requirements and how essential the requirements are. Based on that, there are two activities which are mentioned in NCERT. If you refer that NCERT activity 6.1 and 6.2, which we have already discussed in the class, and we have also done certain questions based on those two activities, we will come to know why carbon dioxide is very essential, why chlorophyll is very essential for carrying out photosynthesis. So children, this is all about autotrophic mode of nutrition. Tomorrow or in the next video, we'll be starting with heterotrophic mode of nutrition.